Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael, aka Rickshaw, and you are nerding out with Rickshaw. And you're also nerding out with.
What's up, nerds? It's Rabbit.
And it's I, Toby Von Doom.
And since we were all caught up with doing some reaction videos, stuff that we like to listen to came out and all at once, like different videos, and we watched those all in one sitting and we recorded it, and they're all done. And I figured we'd get together and do like a half show. You know what I mean? Like a half month show. 'Cause we try to do a live show once a month and do a bunch of cool stuff. And this is our halfway show. You know what I mean? It's house.
It's like half Christmas.
Except it's not like a halfway house because there'd be a lot of people trying to get off drugs, and we're not trying to get, yeah, we're trying to get on some drugs, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, we're just gonna talk about some fun things that are going on. How's everything going, guys?
Pretty sweet.
And
I got this new microphone set up. Check it out. Ooh,
Dude,
fancy.
looking
that way,
professional.
Looking real profesh.
yeah, and you don't have to hold it with your hands. You
Yeah.
could hold other things like a beer.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, or you could even
Shout
you
out.
could crochet while you're doing the podcast, right?
Scratch my nuts.
Yeah, you could do a Rubik's cube. What else can you do?
Oh yeah. Professional
You
Rubik's
could eat a
Cube.
bowl of ramen.
I mean,
All kinds of things.
all kinds of
Yeah.
things.
All kinds of things
All
I could
kinds
do.
of stuff.
I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
I mean, you could write poetry, right? What about you? What would you do if you had two hands free, Toby?
Uh, I don't know.
But,
You put me on the spot, and like I instantly just lost anything that you could do with two hands, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I mean, do
What do I
you
do
already
with my
have
hands?
two free hands, while you're podcasting, right?
Well, I have one always.
Oh yeah, what's the other hand doing?
Hey.
Mhm.
It's got a mouse in the hand, so I can change stuff.
Oh, he's got a
Yeah.
mouse in the hand.
Is that what you call it? You call it
Yeah, he got a like. Yeah, I'll be right there, Mom. Right now, I got a mouse in the hand.
the mouse in my room.
You know how some people like when they're like, "Who are you talking to? You got a mouse in your pocket?" That's what that means. That's what that means.
Whoever said that.
You never heard that?
Oh, whoever said that for the first time was so stupid.
Well, any like weird
Got a mouse.
any weird saying like a bird in the what is it? Two birds, one
A
stone.
bird.
A bird in the bush is all that like all that's really
Uh,
like
don't throw rocks in a glass house.
Yeah,
I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
beating a
yeah.
dead horse like what
Beating a dead horse.
what does that mean? Who
I
Bite the hand that feeds.
I prefer to say beating the dead horse.
all of the dead horse.
Yeah, dude. Sayings are super weird. I want. Do you think that people still come up with weird sayings like that?
I mean, do you think people just sit around and they're just like jotting down like little cool like like don't put hot sauce in
Yeah.
your eye or you'll die, something
Yeah.
along who knows.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, these hoes ain't loyal. Yeah.
Can't turn a hoe into a housewife kind of
There you
thing.
go. There you go.
Wow.
They
I think
all-
it's mostly rappers that come
Yeah,
up with
Yeah.
rappers are the real.
MVP.
Modern
they're
day
the-
poets.
They are.
Modern
They
day
are the real poets, and you know it.
Ooh.
Sunday fun day.
man.
Hey, speaking
Sorry.
of rapper, Tupac's murderer has been charged.
Tupac's murderer has been charged, but you never know if that's real. I've
Fake
been
news.
arrested a few times. I've been arrested a few times, but wrongfully.
I mean, we've all been accused of killing Tupac.
Yeah, who knows who the real killer is? Because Suge Knight's still out there, right? Or is he in prison?
Who knows?
I'll look that up. I'll look that up.
We
Suge
talked
Knight.
about this the other day. Somebody was like, "Yeah, they caught Tupac's killer," and someone else was like, "No, they didn't. Tupac told us that Suge shot me on the Machiavelli album." So
He's out there.
still out there, wherever Suge Knight is.
It says Suge Knight was sentenced to 28 years in prison for mowing down and killing a Compton businessman in a case that completed the former rapper music mogul's downfall. Whatever. 28 years in prison.
Damn.
Okay, so he is in prison,
Yeah.
but he needs to go to jail for Tupac's murder too, because
So where did this other guy come from? Where did,
I don't know. Apparently, it was somebody that was, they've been investigating for a while, and what they said it was like an undercover cop or something like that. I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
it's someone that was like in the car and said that he witnessed it, and he always blamed it on his cousin or something, and his cousin was killed in a drive-by or some kind of he was shot and killed, so
Mhm.
like he was like, my cousin did it, and then I don't know what the evidence is that finally was like, nope, you did it. But yeah, he wrote a book about it and everything, like
like
Yeah,
OJ?
yeah, I was about to say like
yeah.
OJ.
I didn't kill her, but if I were to kill her, this
If
is how.
if I did it, yeah.
If
It's
I
like whenever
did.
you're like, who? Okay, so who ate my leftovers? I don't know. I think it was your cousin. It was your cousin, and you know how he left town, and we haven't seen him in like 3 years. And that all of a sudden,
Was it a turkey ham and cheese with mustard?
it was
Yeah, I didn't eat that shit.
yeah. I definitely wouldn't eat a clubhouse grill, half a clubhouse grill from Applebee's, with that delicious barbecue sauce dripping off of it and go bite. It was your cousin. I said, no, you better not.
Don't eat that sandwich.
Years later, the truth has come out. It was me, man. I ate the whole thing. It was delicious. I'll never forgive you.
His
But
his
anyways, yeah.
his name was Dwayne Keith D. Davis.
Dwayne the Keith D. Davis Johnson.
Is he related to The Rock?
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know who actually killed Tupac. It's been so long. It's
That's
weird how
crazy.
they could be like, we're reopening a case from 48 years ago. We found evidence. What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude,
Right.
what's crazy is there's podcasts that have helped people get out of jail for
Hmm.
like wrongfully accused stuff, and like they're
Yeah.
the ones that found the evidence while the cops were just, investigators were sitting on their ass or whatever, or like case
Mhm.
closed. We solved that one. It's kind of
Well,
insane.
it's like every day somebody's murdered, so it's like if they don't figure out who did it, what is it like the first 48 hours like
Yeah.
that show?
Yeah.
Like if they don't figure out who did it within the first 48 hours, they kind of just move on to the next crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
mean, what a
I
cop.
think that's a thing. I don't I'm not a cop. Regardless of my mustache, I am not a cop.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the only good cop out there is like Gwen Stacy's dad, like that's about it, really.
Did,
Maybe Miles' dad.
wait, don't they all die? Like, wait, you're just naming
Yeah.
cops that die.
The good ones usually do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Gordon
Rest of them.
Gordon's still around. Sam and Twitch. Sam and
Yeah,
Twitch.
yeah, that's true. I think,
Dick Tracy, is he still going?
it's funny that it's, it's funny that cop tropes aren't like solving crimes. Like how many cops are known for just like solving a shit ton of crimes? Like, no, you think of cops and you think Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
You think dirty cops. You see a cop in your rear view and you're like, I have a fucking anxiety. I have a tumor from anxiety right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, they don't even have baseball cards anymore.
What do you mean baseball cards?
Your local cops has never given you baseball cards when you were kids?
They used to
Anyone?
give out little stickers, like
Actually,
little
no.
little gold stickers, like that were in the shape of the badge. That's
Okay, well, in my small town of Hoisington, Kansas, the local police officers, before they would harass the shit out of you, like when I was still a kid, they would hand out baseball cards and shit, and then you would put it, in your bike tire or your spokes to make noise. You know what I'm saying?
Now
Hell yeah.
was that
These aren't tropes from like people in bigger towns or something. I
what are
mean,
you
you lived
from
in.
the are you from the 20s
Not
or
the
what is this?
Yeah, I'm 78, guys. Are you kidding me?
not the baseball thing. Cops didn't give a fuck. But
Yeah. Well, I guess Hoisington
that's
Canada's
Wait, was it
a
baseball
little.
cards of the cops or was it like baseball players?
You
Like
know, I think
they have
they
their
might have
arrest
had.
record on the back and like how many people they've shot.
Yeah, they're like MVP.
Hills.
Busted 2 kids for 1 gram of pot.
He's got all his stats.
Yeah.
Right, right. Could put
Rookie of the
down a
year.
dozen. Could put down a dozen chocolate glazed.
Then you go up to other kids and you're like, "Dude, I got Captain Smith's rookie card. You want to trade?" This is
Dude,
before he had 3 kills under his belt.
right. That's my cousin.
Oh.
That's my cousin. But yeah, I don't know. Enough about that.
I
Enough.
was just gonna say, I used to just get harassed by cops because we'd climb on roofs, kids.
Yes.
We'd love to climb on roofs, like the elementary school, because there'd always be like a soccer ball, a football, a frisbee. We'd find all this shit for free on the roofs of schools, so we'd go climb schools, like on the weekends, and then cops would chase us around town. They didn't give us baseball cards.
Right.
They gave us escorts home. Is what they gave us.
Gave you escorts. Damn.
They gave you all escorts? That's so sick.
Come on, kids, get off the roof. Come fuck these whores.
Y'all are beating a dead horse. But yeah, what else is in the news? Oh yeah, CJ. Yeah. What's his name? CJ Mc Is it McCannon or
Buchanan.
CJ
I think it's Buchanan.
It's MCMAHON.
McMahon?
McMahon?
I don't know. I'm not gonna try to say it because that'll just make.
Anyways, yeah. CJ from the Artist Murder has been removed from the band, and this is a very weird because they just came out with an announcement, and they were like, "Hey, thanks for all of you that bought the record," but then they were like, "We've re-recorded with a new vocalist, and CJ is gone because of the transphobic comments he made." I don't even know particularly what he said, but I saw his apology, and I only have a concept of the context he was saying it in. But what did he actually say, Toby? Do you know?
I'm trying to look it up. There were some like transphobic things that he was saying, and it was just him saying like he doesn't support it,
Mm-hmm.
and like he doesn't think it's right, and then like he had to go back and apologize, which I think
Yeah.
he tried to say that the band told him to go back and apologize.
Yeah, they said that he said he was forced to apologize because the band was kind of like to remove him from the band, and then they still did
Yeah.
after he was forced to. I don't know. That's obviously a very touchy situation because like if the band doesn't agree and doesn't want that dude to be the front man and the face of the band because he's saying stuff, that's one thing. But I think that the shiesty part is like having everyone pre-order an album, having everyone excited about the album, and then as soon as the album is out, you're like, by the way, we have kicked him out and we have replaced him as the vocalist and re-recorded all the vocals. But what's really confusing on top of that is like we listened to the album on Spotify for a little bit and it sounded like it was still CJ, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's the new guy sounds exactly like CJ. It was like hard for me to tell the difference.
Yeah.
But because I only listened to the Hate album. So it's been a while since I've took in a bunch of CJ's lyrics and stuff. But So explain that, Toby. What's actually going on with his vocals? Like,
So I was trying to scan through this article to see if I could find it again, but from what I understood, they booted him. So they recorded with CJ, and
hmm
he did the album.
hmm
From what
Yeah.
I was understanding from like all the pre-order stuff, because I was kind of following that a little bit, is that if you ordered like a vinyl or a CD, you're still gonna get CJ's vocals on it, but if you listen to it on Spotify, it's whoever the new guy is. And like they didn't tell him that he was kicked out of the band until he found out by
looking,
Instagram,
yeah, looking on social
which is
media.
such a look. I I agree like with them like if they don't feel that they're all being represented in the band and that's the only person that's has these views or whatever, sure, boot them out. But like they did a bunch of really shitty things, didn't tell
Yeah.
people that there was going to be a new vocalist on it and had people pre-order it.
hmm
uh didn't let him know that he was out of the band. Like that's you get fired.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
Don't you
getting
have like
fired over from your job over Instagram? Like you're like, oh, I guess I'm not going to work today. Like
well, don't you have like management or something like a band manager or a
hmm
label or something that tells you like, hey, you're out of the band because of the things you said on Twitter or
Yeah.
whatever. But
I mean, it's just
it
kind
just
of, I don't know. It's like, it's a weird situation, honestly, because there are there's people I know that can be a little hard to deal with. And that's like the only situation I could see where a band is like literally like, yeah, let's just kick him out and not even tell him, it's just,
yeah.
just like if it's one of those guys that just like is relentless with like the things he thinks and like doesn't let anybody, you know, one of those walk on eggshells every time the person's around kind of
Yeah.
guys. That's the only situation personally where I could see that being a thing, but at the same time, you still need to just be like, you're probably out of the band. Like,
Yeah, like or all the band members need to nut up and have
yeah.
a meeting and just be like, look, we don't agree with the things you said, so we were going to ask you to leave the band.
Mhm.
Instead of just hiding behind social media to do it for you.
and that's
It's
where
kind of
they also should have had some. They should have had a band meeting. Said, "Hey, we're actually going to take you off the record. Sorry about your luck," and then made a social post saying, "Hey, the record's still coming out. We're changing vocalists." Like there should have been steps
yeah,
before they had any kind of pre-order.
Yeah.
It seems like a bait and switch, big time.
It kind of does, yeah.
yeah. But also like logistically, if they already had put in motion like a vinyl order, which can take
You
months
know
to
what? That's
fulfill,
true.
it's like they may not have been able to go back and change those things,
Mhm.
but they should have put out
A
some
statement.
kind of like press release or a statement that said, "Hey, this is what's happening in our band right now. We appreciate you guys pre-ordering, but there will be a new vocalist." Something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's just communicate.
Yeah.
It's like being in a relationship with somebody. Like, just fucking communicate. Talk to people
Well,
instead of
they
hiding behind
they
a
should have,
keyboard or
they
a
should have
computer.
known because all of that man's lyrics are so scary and they should, they're like, well,
Yeah.
it says right here that he is hell and it's and he certainly has been giving us hell.
That's right.
And
Uh,
also, like, it may not even matter, but like, were the things he said like actually transphobic, or is this being like blown out of proportion?
Um, I couldn't find the original post. I'll keep looking for it, but I do want to add that Ronnie Radke, he he had to get
Yeah,
involved
he
in
has something to
this.
say about it. Yeah, yeah.
He said it's time to stand the fuck up and boycott this shit. Boycott thy art is murder. I will send 20,000 to CJ right now. Tired of these spineless cowards bending to this shit, ruining people's lives. Fuck you. Why is everyone in the music scene so scared to stand up for each other? Grow some balls, or is that transphobic too?
I mean, it's transpositive if you're
Yeah.
transitioning into a
Yeah, it is.
male.
He's
You want to grow
actually,
some balls,
yeah,
right?
he's being transpositive. He's like, grow some balls,
Yes.
because if you feel more comfortable growing some balls,
Grow some
that's who you
balls.
are.
Yeah.
Do it.
More power to you.
Let's see. I think I found some of the stuff he said. These are screenshots. Okay, he said. Here we go. Here we go. Here, I can pull them up. I'm gonna switch over to the. So he said, "Oh, this is when after his comments, he got off social media and stuff." Uh, Damn it! Oh, I think it was in a story. That's what it was. I think
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
so.
Hmm.
He reposted Matt Walsh content where a girl is asking, "Shut the hell up!" Right here is asking her toddler, "Are you a boy or a girl?" The kid responds with both, so she laughs and says, "Okay, you're both." CJ added the caption, "She should be burned to death," which is an insane reaction to a bit weird but harmless video. So naturally, it got reported and taken down. It's also not the first thing that could be interpreted as transphobia that he's posted. I mean, it's a his reaction was a little extreme. Burn her to death for just saying, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
both," and laughing about it because a kid doesn't know. I mean, I don't feel like that was pushing.
Toddlers don't know their gender anyway,
Mm.
so
No,
it's a dumb question to ask a toddler
Well, I
anyways.
think that's kind of what he explained in his the video, like his own apology kind of thing that he put out. He was just explaining that that kid would have said anything because it's a kid that doesn't know any better, and he was
Yeah.
like, and we shouldn't be pushing those ideas on kids that aren't even old enough to think for themselves yet. And that's the way he explained it, which that makes
yeah, it was
sense.
something along those lines. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the burn in hell comment's a little harsh, but yeah.
I mean, that is harsh,
It
but
doesn't
like
sound.
some
It's not
people,
transphobic though.
but so many people are just like, oh, that's trash. Oh, that person should burn for this. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the way people talk nowadays. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
yeah,
true.
he could have just been, when someone's like, that's absolute garbage, and it's like, well, you're talking about like, our amendments, or something like, yeah, well, yeah, burn it. Oh, I don't know, just like a huge reaction, an overreaction to anything.
Well, and I don't know what the past comments were, but if it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot more context needed, and it's a very nuanced conversation that you can't make a quick judgment on somebody based on one
Yeah,
post.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, it was pretty harsh, but
yeah. I mean, you could react to both of those things.
yeah.
You could react to his reaction, or you could react to the video he was reacting to, and both be like, they're both kind of like whatever. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty complicated situation whenever your band's like, okay, we're gonna kick them out and we're gonna replace them and we're not gonna tell anybody. We're re-record vocals, and then then everybody who's
Yeah.
pre-ordered the album just get what they get.
Ugh. Yeah,
So,
that that sucks. It's just a shitty situation all around. Like, no
yeah,
matter how you look at it, it sucks for everyone. Fans, I saw so many people that were like, "All right, I'm boycotting this band. I'm done with this band." So like, I mean, they'll be okay, I'm sure, but you're gonna have those people that are just like, "Nope, I can't take their shit anymore." So
it's just
Yeah.
we've just gotten to a point where like we know too much about everything that goes on, and and at the same time, everyone's ideas about those things are so extreme that we have like people that are accused of stuff which aren't true, and then everybody's like cutting them off and trying to ruin their, and
Yeah.
then
Destroying their
and
careers.
it's like there's times where it's just like, what, of course, whenever someone is an awful person and they're like molesting people or something like that, sure, we should know about that, and we should stop paying them for being an artist and paying them to do whatever they want in their life. But at the same time, we're so quick to just judge certain people and cut them off and try to ruin them and get them fired from their jobs and all this stuff. Whenever
Yeah.
it's like they could eventually come out and be like, "Oh, it was all false.
Yeah.
Someone was just trying to ruin their day." So it's like I feel like we know too much about everything and we have too many people diving in with their opinions, and it's just like, dude, this it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
But that's the society we live in. It's out of hand. Everything is.
It's at the extremes.
Yeah.
And at the extremes are the craziest of us.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more moderate people in our society aren't screaming the loudest. The ones on the extremes are screaming the loudest. Those are the ones that get the views on social media, and
Yeah.
those are the stories that get pushed, stuff like that. Like I think it's kind of terrible that parents use their kids on social media as like ways to get likes and views. Like you're using your child in
Yeah.
that way. I think that's disgusting.
That is, I mean,
And that's what those
and
parents
it's
were doing.
pretty
They were
popular
using their
nowadays
toddler
too.
to get likes.
Yeah.
And to me, it has nothing to do with being trans or not. It's just like we can get likes and views if we use our kids. To me, that's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Well, I just found an article I want to show you guys, and I want to ask: is this offensive? Is this cancelable? Or how would you feel if this was in your neighborhood? Let's ask that. Man slammed for a blasphemous Halloween display featuring decapitated Jesus.
I mean, if it was just a decapitated body and not Jesus, would it be any more extreme?
Right.
I don't think so. It's just a decapitated body.
It's just, I mean, it's just someone with a Halloween decoration to me. Like,
But see, at Christmas the head comes back on.
yeah, I just, yeah, I mean, it's just, of course, all these like once again, these extreme Christians or extreme religious people are gonna look at that and be like, "Oh my God, we gotta get this person chased out of town,"
yeah.
and it's like,
This is in New Orleans, and his name is Vic, and he started putting up the the Halloween displays in September, and it's not only decapitated Jesus, it's also crucified nuns.
nice.
Yeah, so
When
That's
you've got a
dope.
theme, you've got a theme, man.
at one point, the display featured a flamethrower aimed at Jesus' body. However, a fire marshal requested that he remove the device as it posed a potential safety hazard and was in violation of the area's burn ban. This dude's fucking extreme.
I mean, he knows he's gonna stir up some shit. Like he
Yeah, he
knows what he's
knows.
doing.
I guess
He wants the fire.
I think there's actually an interview, and they asked him if he was gonna take it down, and he just said absolutely not. Like this is from his Instagram or something. So Vic out there, not doing the Lord's work, but doing some work, I guess.
Doing Satan's work.
Doing Satan's work.
I mean, it is funny to think about though that you could, December could roll around and you could put up a nativity scene and everybody's like, "Yay!" And then you could do the same thing for Halloween except cut their heads off and everybody's like, "Boo! Get out of town!"
Well, also every Catholic church has dead Jesus hanging on the wall.
Yeah, yeah,
Is it that much more extreme that he's decapitated? It's like
I mean, yes.
yeah,
he's already dead.
yeah.
What does him not having a head make a difference?
I mean, he's already a zombie.
He's dead
in
and
most
hanging on your wall.
scenarios because he came back to life, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's some Easter shit. So I don't know. It's a very convoluted, way of thinking. If him just being decapitated is for Halloween's sake, if that's bad.
Did you ever see the religious fighting game that's on Steam? I think
Mm-mm.
Oh man, I'll look for it and show you some clips. But like Jesus, his character, you know how there's always like character intros and stuff. Like his character comes down on a cross and then he breaks off the sides of the cross and he's got like gauntlets on his hands that are the part of the cross. And you can play as like Buddha and like there's just a bunch of different
Nice.
religions in there. So it's yeah, I'll figure out what it's called.
I thought Buddha was nonviolent.
Oh, well,
Well, society's pushed him to it.
Too far.
But yeah, that sounds like a sick fighting game, honestly, you know?
it's called Fight of the Gods.
Oh yeah, I'd play that.
Me too.
Here,
These are finishing moves.
you know what? I don't know. I'm pulling up a.
What was Jesus' fatalities?
Yeah. Raptured.
Look, I'm not gonna play the audio, but here's the.
Rapturtality.
I want to mute. There it goes. Okay, I wanted to mute it before. So the gods are at war. Yeah.
Let me do that. I'm gonna do the sound.
Jesus.
Go.
Who will lead
Who
us?
will lead us to enlightenment? Odin, Zeus, Athena, Sith, Guangong? Okay, it's too
Moses.
fast.
Moses. He's not a god.
One final challenger
Oh,
arises.
he's the big boss.
I don't
Jesus. Jesus is
look.
the
Look.
big
Look.
boss.
Look.
Oh shh.
Whoa, dude.
Y'all fucked up now.
Dude, that's pretty crazy, though.
Right.
He is risen.
Yeah. So.
Dang, what's that on?
It's on Steam. I know. Yeah, it's on
Oh,
Steam
okay.
for sure. So it's one of those kind
That's
of games.
pretty dope. Yeah,
This came out 6 years ago. It's only it shows buy now for $7.99. So free plug right there.
Nice. You're welcome.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah.
What else we got? Oh yeah. Rabbit wanted to talk about Jason Momoa.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
what's going on with Jason Momoa?
So
Yeah.
apparently, during the filming of Aquaman 2, Jason Momoa dressed up like Johnny Depp
Oh no.
to like fuck with Amber Heard, and I think that's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. He just tormented this woman the entire time, and I back that so hard because she's an abuser,
Could you
and
just imagine just
female abusers need to be put out in their place.
Yeah, yeah.
could you
Just
imagine
as
just quoting Johnny Depp movies to her all day long and just just doing stupid shit like that? That'd be amazing.
Yeah, Rabbit was like, I know none of us really like Jason Momoa that much, but like, after reading that, I'm starting to think he's kind of a cool guy.
I started kind of like Jason Momoa a lot more, yeah. After Fast X and now this.
Where did
Yeah.
he come from? Like he was just like cast as Aquaman, and I never heard of him before that. And then all
Game
of
of
a
Oh,
sudden,
no. He's
It
been
was
around
Game of
for a long
Thrones.
time. No, his first role that put him on the map was before he was like bro, like, my man guy.
Yeah.
He was on Baywatch and he was super young and it was like before he had a beard or anything. And that was kind of the first thing that kind of like got him out there and he like snowballed to all of these
Yeah.
typecast
Yeah,
roles.
but I think Khal Drogo really put him on.
I mean, yeah, that one's the one that really did it.
Yeah.
But you act like Baywatch. It wasn't a popular show.
No, it
back at
was,
the
but
time,
I'm
yeah.
saying when Game of Thrones came
Yeah.
out and he was Khal Drogo, that's when women started like,
Yeah.
oh my god, Jason Momoa is the hottest man I've ever seen in my life.
Look at his nipples.
That's, I mean, and he's a good looking dude. I'm not gonna
I mean, he is,
deny
but
that.
damn, one man's popularity, and then being cast in like 12 stream movies. Just go, my man,
yeah,
bro.
his first movie was called Johnson Family Vacation. He was in the Conan the Barbarian remake.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that was after Game of Thrones came out though.
yeah. This is so. It says Baywatch was his first main role. So, huh? Yeah, Game of Thrones is way down the road.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think he's a cool dude. You want you want to drink beers and like throw hatchets at stuff? Like
Yeah, like do man
Jason
shit.
Momoa's your guy. Let's
Do like Hawaiian dances while drinking.
you want to spit roast an entire pig and then go surf? Like
Thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say spit roast.
no, sir.
I thought honestly, I think that's bad casting for him to be Aquaman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Aquaman seemed like a pretty blonde guy. You know what I mean in the comics?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was always the you know, blonde dude.
Yeah, and then they cast Jason Momoa as him. They obviously didn't care about the character. They just wanted someone in the role that would bring attention.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "We'll work things in around
Well,
that," you know?
I kind of think they were going for like diversity, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then he's an islander type person, so
Yeah.
that kind of fits with the Aquaman lifestyle, you know? Like it kind of makes sense if you think about it,
Yeah.
but I get what you're saying. He doesn't resemble Aquaman
The real
really
Aquaman, yeah.
at all.
Well, and I mean, I don't know much about Aquaman because who reads Aquaman? But like, you know, they make him out to be like this guy who's like always standing in water with his abs out and he's chugging whiskey. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've never seen Aquaman with a bottle in his hand in any comic books. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But my man.
Oh, man.
My man, Jason Momoa.
All right, they're like, all right, give me the line, my man. All right, you're hired, dude. You're in there.
You did it.
You're in there. That's like that's all we needed. I've got goosebumps.
He was absolutely delightful in
That's what I keep hearing.
like I was not excited for him to be in the movie, but I really liked him. in
What
Fast
movie was it? You cut out on my end.
Fast X.
Oh, Fast X. Gotcha.
Yeah. He was like the main villain.
Oh, was he?
Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the son of a former villain, like the fourth movie or something like that.
Look, I watched
his
maybe
son?
the first two Fast and Furious movies. Tokyo
You gotta
Drift.
watch. That's 3.
Everybody's seen
That's-
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift is the only one that I liked out of all of them, but that's just because I
Yeah,
like the hot babes
yeah.
in it.
Dude, Tokyo Drift
Yeah,
was sick,
yeah,
man. Tokyo Drift
I love
was sick.
Tokyo Drift too. I mean, that's where we get Han from, but
Yeah.
anyway.
But yeah,
Whole nother
you know, the thing
podcast.
is though, there's like this thing where Jason Momoa has been meeting with I think he's been meeting with James Gunn, and it's like he's been teasing that he's like in the new DC universe and all this stuff, and everyone's confused because Aquaman 2 isn't even out yet. Apparently, he is teasing that he's gonna play Lobo in the DC universe, and that's way more a Jason Momoa than Aquaman. So I am like
100%.
I'm okay with it, but like, damn, Aquaman's not even out yet, you know, before we're already recasting him for another.
Right.
You look
Seems
confused.
weird.
You know, you don't know Lobo?
I know who Lobo is, but it just seems weird to me that they would cast him as another character in the DCU.
Like already?
Yeah,
I
Well,
mean,
well, no, they're restarting.
I know, but kids are gonna know him as Aquaman.
I mean,
he's
through
gonna-
that,
he's
You know what I
gonna
mean? Like,
probably be gray with makeup, and
Yeah.
so
Mm.
he'll look different
just
enough.
find another dude.
Yeah. If it's true, I'm sure James Gunn has just always wanted Jason Momoa as Lobo, and he's like, "It's my DC universe now, mother lickers."
My man.
Yeah, he's like, "You're Lobo now." He's like, "You're Lobo
Yeah.
now. Don't tell anyone." And then Jason Momoa's like on Twitter, like, "Hey,
I just
man."
think it's funny that like we think that there's only like 20 actors on the planet and you can't find another actor to play
yeah.
a character. Like,
Yeah. It is pretty disappointing because like even Sony can be like, yeah, I know that Aaron Taylor Johnson was in an Avengers movie, and we're not technically part of that, but we're gonna do another comic book movie and put him as
Yeah.
the lead.
well, Chris Evans,
Yep.
Yeah.
he was the Human Torch.
Yeah, Well, Chris Evans has been Human Torch, Captain America, and Lucas Lee from Scott Pilgrim.
Uh,
So that's like
yeah.
three comic book, three and two, three and two.
Well, the dude that
Comic.
plays Jonah Jameson, uh, he wasn't
Yeah, but
he.
well, he's always J. Jonah
But
Jameson.
what I'm saying, wasn't he Gordon in one of the Batman movies?
Oh
Yeah, but that's
yeah,
two different. That's Marvel
But still,
versus
I'm just
DC.
saying, like,
yeah,
You're
yeah,
saying like within the same
same
like
like universe. Well,
yeah,
exactly.
look,
yeah, yeah.
I know it's through different studios, but Josh Josh, what's his name? Josh plays Cable and Thanos.
Brolin.
Brolin.
Oh, Brolin, yeah,
Yeah, he played Thanos and
Thanos and Cable.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, it's only backing up Rabbit's point that we only think that there's like yeah, whole world.
100%.
Yeah,
'Cause,
100%.
like
they're
give
like,
somebody else a chance. Jeez.
well, it's like it's like the when people are like, I don't want to hear original music. I want to hear someone do covers of songs I already know. Same thing with like we're starting a new franchise. Well, I don't want to see new people doing stuff in this. I want to see people I already know.
Yeah.
Like, well, somebody always has to be new to you at some point for them to become famous.
Right. Yeah.
You
Like,
know,
well,
that's the one thing I liked about. We just recently rewatched the that Mortal Kombat movie that had come out a couple years ago,
yeah,
and that's one thing I appreciate about that movie is like not all the actors are like overused actors, or not in movies I see anyways. Like
right.
I really didn't recognize hardly any of them. So
Hmm.
we do need more young actors that haven't gotten the big break. I feel like.
Yeah. To me, it's like, okay, what if it's like if they got Robert Downey Jr. to play Doctor Doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's Iron Man.
yeah,
He's Iron Man. He can't be anybody else in the MCU.
yeah. Just
He's Iron
stop
Man.
trying to recycle.
Exactly.
Like,
Stop trying to recast the same 10 people in your movies. Like,
well,
find new people.
there was
There's
a
always new
rumor.
actors.
There was a rumor that what's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal. There was a rumor that Jake Gyllenhaal was gonna be cast as the new Reed Richards, and everyone's like, he was just Mysterio. You know what I mean?
Like,
So
stop.
it's just like,
I get it. They
yeah,
want a big name. They
Yeah.
want a big name, play their character.
mhm.
But if they've already been somebody that was like a prominent character in the
Yeah.
MCU, they just need to find somebody else.
Just stop.
There's
They-
other people.
well,
There's
they
other
just need to
actors.
stop with the whole like corporate mentality is like
Yeah.
so annoying nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we want to do. It doesn't matter what all the stuff you're talking. We just see more money doing
Right.
it this way, and it's like, well, what about what people want? The people that are paying to make your business bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they
And
might want something different. Like,
and if you go back to phase 1 and you see like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, all the Chris's basically. Like they
and
weren't
Robert Downey Jr.
and Robert Downey well, Robert Downey Jr. was an established actor.
But he was going through some hard times, and
Yeah,
everybody was
and
turning their
that he
back
kind
on
of
him.
made his comeback with Iron
Yeah.
Man. But they weren't big names. They were established actors and they had done some things, but they weren't like movie stars yet.
Yeah.
And they got those actors to play these roles and then they groomed them throughout the 10 years, to become the people they are today.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what they need to do again. Like they need a restart.
Yeah.
And they kind of did that with Eternals. They actually recast, a bunch of actors that were like Kumail Nanjiani.
Not huge mainstream
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Well, look at the Stranger Things kids. Like all of those kids have been if they needed a young kid for a while, you got one of the Stranger Things in a movie. So
Yeah.
like they are already kind of doing that with, not through Marvel or Disney or whatever, but like I said, Stranger Things for what the main kid in Stranger Things was in the It movie. He was in Ghostbusters. Like they've got their new wave coming through with that kind of those kids right now.
Well, they don't want to do the work to go look for something new. You know what I mean? They're like, the machine only works this way. We do the least amount of work we can and make the most amount of money we can, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So
We can only have 10 kids at a time be famous. That's it. We've already hit our
yeah.
quota for.
Yeah. So it's pretty sad that it works like that, but what can we do? We're not Hollywooders. We're not Hollywood Rose.
Hell no.
But also, in while we're on the subject, they did announce that after the writer's strike was over, they're starting their first round of talks about the reboot for X-Men in the MCU.
Ooh.
So they're gonna start taking pitches, writers and actors for what kind of movie they want to put together, and I had a lot of people I've talked about this with a few people, but one of my homies introduced me to someone the other night. And he's like, "Hey, X-Men tattoo, sick, right?" He's like, "I love X-Men comics." And we started talking about MCU and stuff, and he was like, "Dude," and me and Rabbit even talked about this. He was like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm really excited because they're just starting pre-production on X-Men, and it's gonna be a new version of X-Men in the MCU, and it's gonna be, apparently, from what the rumor is, it's gonna be the movie that they do after Secret Wars. So it's gonna be like none of the X-Men from Fox's X-Men. So no Hugh Jackman, no, all stuff. It's gonna be a fresh cast, and it's gonna be, moving forward." And he was just kind of like, "Oh, well, the MCU hasn't been doing great. It's like, it's really sad to see because it's just they've been shit in the bed." And I was like, "Okay, look, let me just stop you right there, okay? Phase one of Marvel, I don't really, when those movies started coming out, I was like, I don't really care for the Avengers. I'm an X-Men fan. It was cool to see Avengers show up and help X-Men do some stuff, or it was cool to see like everyone in the Marvel universe get together and like be homies and fight someone together. So I was always like, cool, crap, American conversations with Cyclops and Wolverine. That's cool. But as far as like how much I liked Avengers, I was like, it's cool that Scarlet Witch is on the Avengers team sometimes, and then like
S-
Quicksilver is on the Avengers team sometimes, and
Sometimes
Beast,
Beast, yeah.
yeah, Beast is on the Avengers sometimes. But as far as Avengers, I was like, I only own Avengers comics crossovers with that. So my point is though, him being like, oh, they're really shit in the bed, and I'm like, no, phase one had Iron Man. Iron Man was great. That's one. We had Captain America, not the greatest. We had Thor, not the greatest. Like those movies I really didn't like that much at all till we saw an Avengers movie where they all collab,
Yeah.
right? So then I could go back and I appreciate the character. But like at the time I was like, yeah, that was forgettable.
Yeah.
Thor 1, wow, that
Not
last
good.
30 minutes was like awful. So, and then I was like, okay, let's talk about phase 4. We're back in the building phase. We're done with Endgame. We're
Hmm.
we're doing a we're doing a soft reboot for like the world we're in to build up to something new. Phase 4 is, let's just name the bangers in my opinion. Spider-Man No Way Home. Shang-Chi. Uh,
Yeah.
I
Shang-Chi's
liked Black.
awesome.
I liked Black Panther 2 a lot. I thought it
Wakanda
was a
Forever was
banger,
awesome.
especially considering the circumstances of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
I think they pulled really well.
yeah, and Namor was sick.
Yeah.
So,
Namor was badass.
also WandaVision, also Loki. That's 5 bangers, in my opinion.
I liked Moon Knight a lot. I
Okay.
I liked Moon Knight a lot.
Okay.
So
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
We also have Doctor Strange
Oh,
2
Doctor Strange too.
was a banger in my opinion. I
Yeah.
like the Doctor Strange movies a lot. They're one of my favorites of the Marvel universe.
what was the horror thing with Man Thing and stuff? That was kind of cool.
Oh,
That's
Oh, the werewolf
the
thing?
Werewolf by
The
Night.
yeah.
little that was actually pretty
That
cool.
was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean they've had some good stuff come out in the last phase or
Yeah.
so. I,
So
I actually
so
thought
it's one of those
Eternals was cool
things.
too.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where like we have been groomed to think that everything Marvel does was the greatest, but it wasn't like that from the beginning.
Yeah.
It took getting into like phase 3 to have like 2 years of consecutive bangers to even happen. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So now that we have like 14 projects involved in phase 4 and some of them were kind of like meh, then everyone's just like they suck now.
Yeah,
Marvel
Marvel's so
sucks
terrible
now.
now.
Yeah. And
Like,
it's just
no,
like
they're really?
yeah. So I don't know. It's weird to think, it's I don't know. It's weird to think about because it's one of those things like I always say that a food place could come out and it could be awesome, but after a while, sometimes the quality drops, but people still keep going because it's just the thing. So it's like, why is Marvel so bad? You can still go to Buffalo Wild Wings every week and eat
Yeah,
garbage.
exactly.
But as far as Marvel movies, you're like, that one was only like an 80% to me. I hate it. But yeah, that's why I think an X-Men movie, they're going into post-production now. Secret Wars is supposed to come out in like 2026. So that's
Jesus.
several years to get an X-Men movie off the ground. And guess what? I read something that said they're not even gonna put Wolverine as part of the lineup in the
Good.
first X-Men movie.
Good.
And
Good.
I was like,
Good.
I
I'm tired of Hugh Jackman. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I just
I
I think we need a little rest on Wolverine because everyone loves Wolverine.
exactly.
We need a little bit of a rest, and it kind of feels like when they did Iron Man and they did all these movies, they weren't super popular characters. So
Yeah, Thor.
let's just throw out the first class X-Men, let them be built up a little bit, maybe 2, 3 movies before we see Wolverine. That's how I would do it. Like let it
Well,
simmer.
I think that
And
they
please
have.
recast Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Please.
they are going to recast Wolverine at that point too, or from what I hear, or what they're saying
Yeah.
in leaks or whatever. Like, but I think that even if they just did Wolverine as a completely separate entity for a little while, it would make more sense than just shoving him back down our throats as the face of the X-Men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and like Rabbit was asking if the next version of X-Men, what lineup would you like to see? And so I said X-Men Blue Team from the 90s,
Hmm.
which is I mean, this is still involving Wolverine and in the team that I pick. But X-Men Blue Team was Cyclops, Wolverine, Rogue, Gambit, Psylocke, Beast, I believe.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that would be a sick lineup because we've never really gotten a Cyclops that that did anything.
Yeah. Or
We've
was like
never,
the leader of the X-Men like he's
yeah,
supposed to be, right?
right. We've never gotten a Rogue that could do anything.
Yeah.
Like Rogue is one of the most powerful characters in the X-Men, and they just treated her like someone who got kidnapped every day.
And like Wolverine's girlfriend. Some bullshit.
Yeah, his weird childlike girlfriend.
Yeah.
Gambit,
I want to
these
see a
are
good
all
Gambit.
like tough characters to nail, but like you get the right person and playing them, it's gonna be
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Beast, we need a CGI Beast. Just
You know what? I want him to start out just regular
yeah, he
and
could.
maybe have some like big hands or something, like make him a little bit like he's already started to evolve a little bit, before he gets his fur and stuff,
Yeah. And
hanging
I
from stuff with his feet and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, and I feel like he needs to be a thick boy,
Oh
a
yeah.
skinny, a
yeah,
skinny
no,
boy. He needs
the
to be a thick boy. You
yeah,
know?
like what's his name? The dude who played him in the Fox X-Men movies,
Um,
the newer ones.
Oh yeah.
Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but
He's the Jack the Giant Slayer or whatever. That awful monstrosity. He was that kid. I like that actor, but he's a
I do
skinny.
too.
He's a skinny man.
He's a skinny boy, and
And
he's not a beast.
Kelsey Grammer was more of a beast than that guy. And also like I don't want to see like actors complaining about having to put on makeup and then them cutting it down. Like, oh, J Law doesn't like doing makeup anymore, so we're gonna make Mystique the mutant and proud girl. We're
Yeah.
gonna make her human form all the time because J Law's really tired of wearing it. Or that guy too. It's like, well, we're gonna find a way for Beast to be human most of the time,
Yeah.
also. So
Nicholas Holt was his
Oh,
name.
yeah,
that's
there
him,
he is.
yeah. So
Oh, he was the
it's
dude
just,
from Renfield. I didn't even realize that was him.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
He
yeah,
was in the Mad Max too. He's
yeah.
been in a lot of stuff.
He was in the menu. Yeah, holy shit. I
Mhm.
didn't realize that was the same dude.
He's a great actor. He's a
Uh,
great actor. I have nothing against him as an actor. I
yeah,
just feel like, as far as going forward and recasting the X-Men, I feel like B needs to be a thick boy, some big hands. He can swing from things.
buff as
He can
shit.
hang upside down from his feet.
Yeah,
You know,
and the intellectual
buff as
type
fuck.
too.
Yeah, and smart.
He was always like, this is, indubitably, you know, and he's always like reading a book upside down and shit.
Dude, I used to
Yeah.
love that in the cartoons when he'd just be
Mhm.
and he's just calm and just kind of walking on the ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't. It's like they've never actually tried to capture the spirit of any of these characters. They're
Yeah.
just like, so back to Hugh Jackman.
Right. Well, even he had that cameo in one of the X-Men First Class movies
Mhm.
where, and everyone was super excited about that, and then they had to do the Days of Future Past, and they had to bring him back into it. So they
Yeah.
always just
Yeah.
fall back on him. And look, we're kind
Mhm.
of doing that with Deadpool. We're falling back
Mhm.
on him one last time because he makes
Right.
money. And
Yeah.
that's fair, that's fine. But I hope this Deadpool, getting Deadpool into the MCU. And you know what? As much as I like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, I wouldn't be mad if we recast Deadpool into with a younger actor, because Ryan Reynolds, let's be real, he can't do it forever. So
I mean that one doesn't matter to me that much because he's wearing a mask the whole time. You technically don't have to
Yeah.
see his face at all
I
in
guess you're
comic
right.
in
And
comic
honestly, I'd be
books.
fine if they just did this third one and that was the Deadpool.
Trilogy,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Like he could show up for like team ups, after that, and
Yeah,
it'd be fine.
maybe like just a cameo.
But I don't
here
know
and
if
there.
that he's worth too much money. You know what I mean? So
It's true.
they're probably gonna keep him around. But yeah, as far as the Wolverine thing, yeah, he's in his real costume. Sick.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is I feel like it's more of a thing with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Like Ryan Reynolds is like the guy that's like, oops, I leaked this Deadpool footage. And then he's been around since they've messed up Deadpool. So he's just like, I'm gonna get this shit back on track for Deadpool. And now we have him going like, Hugh Jackman, come back. Let's get this shit back on track for you before you retire from Wolverine for good. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
and at the same time, I know that I feel what you're saying. It's kind of annoying to be like, yeah, let's fucking get these tired ass X-Men Fox universe back. But then at the same time, it's like if you do it right one last time, I will forgive you, and I'll say finally they use these actors and characters the way they need to be used.
Yeah. And it kind of makes sense with Deadpool and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine because of in the past movies he's made a lot of jokes at Wolverine's expense
Mm,
and at Hugh Jackman specifically.
Yeah.
Like when he wears the mask, the Hugh Jackman mask with the eyes hole cut out.
yeah.
It's like it makes sense to bring him in as Wolverine for one final Deadpool movie. But
Hmm.
after that, going forward, I feel like it just needs to be a whole new cast,
Well,
like a fresh
it's
start.
it's so what they're still going to be in Secret Wars most likely too. So
Oh,
that's the thing.
well, that's unfortunate.
Well, Secret Wars is a multiverse version of a bunch of people all meeting in this on this weird planet.
Yeah.
So it's like they're saying like, "Hey, let's get these guys back and give them, their final ride." But then after Secret Wars, fresh start. You know what I
So
mean?
we need
So
we need David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury one last time.
that would be amazing, honestly.
That's so terrible. I don't know if you ever saw that. It's bad.
No.
I remember seeing it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
So maybe
it's
we could
bad.
get Dolph Lundgren Punisher back for that
Oh
too.
Ooh.
shit! I want Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane's
Wasn't
Punisher was the shit.
the dude who played Balin, right? He was
He
a
was Punisher,
Punisher one time.
but he's
He is dead now.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad for bringing that up. So
It's a sad day.
yeah,
That
it's sad.
Punisher was wild too. I just remember the scene where the dude was like jumping across two buildings and he shoots him out of the sky with a bazooka.
That's the war zone?
War Zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was
Punisher War Zone.
crazy.
That movie was
They
wild.
turned it up all the way to 10 and you're like,
Yeah.
"Okay. All right."
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so yeah. What about Star Wars, guys? Huh? Oh yeah, I forgot Toby.
Oh no.
Toby is not a Star Wars guy, but
Here,
I'm act-
I can do this for you guys just to talk about it. Just you guys on the screen.
I
I
have to
mean,
pee.
I mean, Rabbit wasn't really a huge Star Wars guy either. But
Okay, I've seen everything Star Wars pretty much, but I'm also kind of like not a Star Wars fan, so
Yeah,
it's
but
contradictory. It's like a love-hate relationship.
but
I have with
Ahsoka
Star
has
Wars.
been pretty good.
Ahsoka's been dope.
Yeah, and it's
That last episode was confusing, and I guess we get to see a new one
today.
today
Today is the
as we
finale.
record.
So
So
as
we'll
we
see.
record, today is the finale
Yeah.
later on. But
I've been liking Ahsoka, and I liked The Mandalorian the first two seasons I watched. I didn't watch the third season, but
well, I just think it's funny though too, because okay, so it's like what's his name, Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson can do a Star Wars movie, and he can, introduce these new ideas about Jedi's and what they can do, and everybody's like, no, that's stupid. Jedi's can't do that. The Force
Yeah.
doesn't work like that. And then you could have Dave Filoni do something who has done the Clone Wars and all these like cartoon and animated series in the background of the prequels, and he could do a live action show and do a bunch of weird shit with the Force, and everybody's like, Star Wars is back, baby. So
yeah.
it's Star Wars fans, like the hardcore ones, they're really confusing. Like
They're the worst.
it's almost like they're just like, well, I don't like what's going on, so I'm gonna say that they can't do that and they can't do this. But whenever they're like, yeah, this is not bad. I like it. The Force can do all these crazy things. So
Yeah. Well, also, like, who are you to know what the Force can and can't do? Like, you're not the creator of the franchise. It's silly.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
awake, guys. I'm awake. I'm here.
Hello? Hello?
But yeah, it's fun. Ahsoka is a very fun show. It's very samurai-esque, and you get space whales that could travel through hyperspace. So I know that my brother was really confused about that. He's like, "Wait a minute, are these whales about to go in hyperspace?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, catch up. Do your research. Hello."
It's 2023, man. Girls can fly.
Yeah, whales could be anything they want to be. Okay, boy, girl, in
Interdimensional.
yeah, hyperspace travelers, whatever. Don't judge those whales.
One thing, one last thing before we wrap up or anything. Have y'all seen the Rick and Morty trailer?
I did see the Rick and Morty.
And the voice actor that they have is fucking pretty good. Morty,
Yeah.
you can kind of tell sometimes it's not the same voice.
It's like if you're paying real close attention.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you would be like, I don't know, but
I
if we didn't know, then we
right.
wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
I
So,
honestly think that if I didn't know that he was gone, if what's his name?
Justin Roland.
Yeah, if I didn't know, I wouldn't know better. I can't watch the what's the other show? Solar Opposites.
Yeah.
I can't watch it anymore. It's such a drastic change that it makes it hard to watch. And it
Yeah.
makes everything just not work anymore. And
I
that
mean,
sucks.
well, but at the same time, like I feel like with two shows having Justin Roiland as the voice,
Doing the same voice.
like you need one to go. You need one of them to say like, "Hey, we have someone that's gonna be real close," and then the other show has to go. We're just fucking taking a curveball. Like we're just going in the complete opposite direction. You know what I mean? I feel like in the scenario that they tried to copy his voice for both shows, one of them would just tank super hard. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah,
So
sure.
yeah.
Well, it was hard to watch. I can't watch Solar Opposites anymore just because it's it's too jarring. But I like
Well,
how they got rid of him is really
yeah,
funny. Like they changed his voice right at the beginning. They
yeah,
shot him in the throat with something, and they were like, "Yeah, and also in future flashbacks, my voice is gonna be like this now too." And like they just
yeah,
go ahead and write it off, and
right.
it's kind of funny, but it's so
And I
drastically different.
and I like that show, but it's an out there show already. I know that Rick and Morty is an out there show, but it's like cohesive
Yeah,
as to where Solar Opposites could just fly off the
yeah,
rails,
yeah.
and you're just like, all right, okay, I'm still watching,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure the last season was like that for me, to where I got through like half of it, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch it in the background, but I'm not, like, episode to episode, I'm not like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like Rick and Morty still does that for me. Like I'll do episode to episode and still be like excited to watch it.
I
So
think everything I kept seeing online when Solar Opposites came out this season was like, I don't care about the Solar Opposite characters, but I do care about what's going on in the wall. Like that little side plot.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
everyone's super
that side
invested.
plot, yeah, that side plot is really good,
So,
and that's honestly, yeah, it's just crazy to think that their side plot is like this society of people living in the wall.
yeah.
It's like it goes through all these like politics and religions and
Dude, it's
and
actually pretty cool. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't mind if the
yeah.
show spun off and just became that.
I do like how they get really meta with some of that stuff though, because they'll name an episode. Uh, they'll name an episode that, like, what's some of the aliens' names?
God damn it, I can't think of any other names right now.
I can't either, but like the episode will straight up just be named like some of the aliens' names, and it'll be like so and so go to the park, and then you watch the episode, and like in the background of the people living in the wall, you'll see those characters just walking around doing things as if they named it the episode because of that, what's going on with the aliens. But the whole episode would be about the
The
people in
wall.
the wall. Yeah.
Oh,
So it would just be like,
you can
yeah,
see them in the background sometimes
yeah,
doing shit. Yeah, that's
yeah.
funny.
But yeah. But yeah, Rabbit doesn't watch either of those shows, so
Ah, so see, y'all got me on the Star Wars. I got you back
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I fell asleep. What happened? No, I
Payback.
just don't watch cartoons. I don't watch anything that's animated, really.
Oh, all
I
right,
mean,
Not
Mister
my,
what about
Mister Adult.
Spider-Man, dude?
it's not my cup of tea.
What about Spider-Man, dude?
Animated movies are the exception that.
You just don't like animated episodic cartoons.
Well,
Yeah, I just don't watch.
animated movies and hentai.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
No, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I know what you mean, but there are some times where an animated show is just like, this is better than what's going on in live action shows right now. So,
I get that.
but yeah, I always try to show him Rick and Morty. You do enjoy Rick and Morty every now and then, right?
Yeah, so my thing has always been like, if my friends are watching it, it doesn't matter what it's South Park or Family Guy or Rick and Morty. If my friends are watching it and it's on, like I think it's funny. But if I'm by myself and I'm picking something to watch, it's not going to be a cartoon
Right.
or an anime. I'm just
Okay.
not going to watch that kind of stuff. Like, there's always something for me to watch. There's always a TV show. There's always a movie that I could watch that's not a cartoon. So I choose to watch those things.
Yeah, I bet
Right.
you don't eat fun like sugary cereals either, do you, Rabbit? You old
No,
sourpuss.
I don't.
Well, it's funny because
I eat bland
I've been working on this.
oatmeal.
I've been working I've been working on an animated show about Rabbit, and so like I was hoping he would say he would never watch something like that because he's gonna. If he did, he would hate me. He would silly Rabbit.
I'd be flattered.
Silly Rabbit. Dicks are for chicks.
Nice.
But yeah, I think we've done a good job at ranting for our half episode.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And we got a
So
live episode coming up too. We should promote that, huh?
yes, October 12th. It's Thursday. We're gonna be live at 8 p.m. Central Time, and I think it's gonna be a Halloween episode. We're gonna talk about some spooky stories, and more than just Booberry. And what's the other guy?
Count Chocula,
Count
Count
Chocula?
Chocula,
Frankenberry, Count Chocula.
Frankenberry. That's what I was. Frankenberry.
Yeah,
But we're not going to talk about those guys,
we might,
unless,
unless.
maybe we could do I've always thought like franchise battles could be a good topic. Like, what's your favorite cereal? And would the mascot be the victor in a fighting
Okay,
tournament
hey, you know
against all
what?
those other
Let's
characters?
put a pin in this idea. We'll talk
Mhm.
off this because I have. We'll talk after this. We may have to do something.
Yeah.
I got ideas.
Okay. All
Oh,
right. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But also, I think that it would be a cool thing if you actually had haunted items in every Booberry box, right? So, like, if you like that cereal, you bring it home, your house is haunted, and
Hey,
then
then it's really scary.
yeah, yeah, they're like, oh, did you buy berries again? I told you. What was that?
We got
Your
haunted,
house is
dude. We
haunted.
got
Oh,
haunted. You said it.
I was just thinking like the prize is like a monkey's paw. You pull it out and you're like, "Yay, I got the monkey's paw."
yeah. Kids are gonna love this one.
Yeah.
Be like, I wish I wasn't born. But yeah, yeah, thanks for coming out to our half episode, and be sure to check out the live video. Join us in the chat, ask us questions, and all that stuff. Riff along with us because we're doing our long episode, most of the live ones, without really any. We'll have things to talk about, but we're not like really planning much for it.
Oh, we're
It's just
free falling, baby.
it's mostly us riffing, and
Freestyle.
that's now that the podcast on YouTube has 3,000 plus followers, like you need to get to know us personally more. So, you know us personally, you feel bad for us being poor, and then you start tipping us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where it's at. So, just keep in mind that we do this pretty much for free, and it's mostly after we've been working our asses off all week. So, yeah, remember that. So go buy some of our merch to help us out. You got that merch
No, I
merch
don't. I
thing?
don't
You don't
have the
got it right now?
merch
No?
tab. I'll make sure to have it for the live show.
All right, well, go down to the description, click the merch link, and there are several things you can buy those just to support the podcast, and wear them around because, I let one of my buddies have my shirt that said F Kid Rock, and within hours of him, he had people going, "Oh shit, does that say fuck Kid Rock?" Yeah, love that shirt. So check out our merch. And Toby, tell about your podcast.
Yes. Hey, I do the Secret Levels podcast. It's a retro video game review show where we go over one retro game per episode, usually for the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, something along those lines. We go over the one game and let you know if it's still worth playing. It's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all the other major podcasting platforms. You can also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Toby Von Doom, and see what I'm up to on there. Bet you won't. I dare you. Double dog dare you. Pansy. Pansy. I don't know. I got to bully. I'm trying to bully him.
Dang, Toby. Full bully mode. What's up, nerds? It's Rabbit. I'm gonna be honest, I really have to pee, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Uh, oh, go check out my band, Terminated. We're on Spotify. We get that song up. You know what it is. But yeah, go check it out. We need some plays. We need some love. So later, nerds.
And I am Rickshaw, and you are nerding out with me and my friends. And if you like what you see here, go add us up on all of our stuff, like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. Yeah, and check, like I said, join us for our live show. We're gonna be doing that every month, once a month, hopefully. And if we get enough people in there, I would love to do it more than once a month. But like I said, we are poor and we have jobs and all that stuff. Also, Never Rest is the band that I've been playing in, and we're playing. We're from Austin, putting out new music probably at the beginning of the year with a video and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that. And also, if you're around and you like to go to metal shows, come check us out. I was awfully comfortable at the last show, so
Ooh.
so you can imagine all of the shit that I talked to the crowd. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you later, nerds.